Homily for the fourth Sunday of Easter, Year B. I am the Good Shepherd. Our readings for this Sunday are from Acts of Apostles chapter 4 verse 8 to 12, First letter of St. John chapter 3 verse 1 to 2, and the Gospel of St. John chapter 10 verse 11 to 18. In the first reading from Acts of Apostles, we see St. Peter giving courageous witness to Christ before the religious leaders after the healing of the lame man in the temple. He declared that the crucified Christ has risen from the dead, that it is in his name and in no other name that salvation can be found, and thus that the stone rejected by the builders has become the cornerstone. In the second reading, St. John asks Christians to reflect on the love that the Father has lavished upon us by letting us be called children of God. He assures us that we are already children of God, and that in the fullness of time, when all is revealed, we shall be like him, because we shall see him face to face. In the Gospel passage, Jesus contrasts the profile of the hireling, who has no love for the sheep and who abandons the sheep at the slightest danger, with that of the good shepherd who lays down his life for his sheep. He then declares that he is the good shepherd. A distressed humanity. Fallen humanity is plagued by natural and man-made disasters, terrorist insurgencies, violent crimes, and war. In our society and across the world, we now and again witness economic injustice and social exclusion, bad exploitative governance, rampant corruption, poverty, unemployment, youth restiveness, strange illnesses and epidemics, marital upheaval, family dysfunction, and widespread existential frustration, often expressed in various forms of addiction, depression, suicide ideation, and other psychopathologies. Men and women often live like sheep without shepherd. Many are hungry for physical food, but many more are suffering the hunger of the heart, the hunger for true love and affection. Many live daily under the domination of sin and its numerous consequences. Many live perpetually in fear of evil spiritual forces, of criminal attacks, or of accidents. Humanity is indeed broken by sin and wrecked by wickedness. Our societies are poisoned by hate and polluted by falsehood. The politics of many nations are afflicted by selfishness and greed, and their economy is often plagued by corruption. Thus, many people live sad, lonely, empty, and futile lives devoid of any sense of meaning and purpose. Thieves, rogues, and brigands. In their hunger for truth and their thirst for meaning, however, many men and women have often fallen into the hands of thieves, rogues, and brigands, who pretend to have the answers to the existential challenges in their lives, but who, as Jesus says, are only out to steal, to kill, and to destroy. John chapter 10 verse 10. There are indeed today many blind guides, pseudo-messiahs, and wolves in sheep's clothing, offering all kinds of prescriptions for distressed persons and groups. And many people are daily being fed on poison, while others keep wasting their time and effort on what cannot bring them satisfaction. See Isaiah chapter 55 verse 1 to 3. Even within the Christian fold today, there are many false prophets, fake preachers, self-serving pastors, mercenary priests, and rogue church leaders recruiting millions of followers, but the human person's restlessness and sense of insecurity often persists. Because, as St. Augustine says, the Lord has created us for himself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in him. a warning against fraudulent shepherds and hirelings. Jesus warns everyone in today's gospel against the hirelings who pretend to be shepherds, but who are wolves in sheep's clothing. He insists that these hirelings do not know the sheep. They have no love for the sheep. They do not care for the sheep. They will take no risk for the sheep, but instead they will run away and abandon the sheep if they sense any danger. They are only motivated by self-interest. They are only concerned with their own comfort and security. Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd." It is within this context that Jesus introduces himself as the good shepherd who lays down his life for his sheep. He says that the sheep that belong to him listen to his voice. As a true shepherd, he loves and cares for his sheep, feeding the hungry, bandaging the wounded, making the weak strong, looking for the lost, and leading them to green pasture. Unlike the fraudulent shepherds or hirelings who do not care for the sheep, the good shepherd loves the sheep and is prepared to die for them. The bond between the shepherd and the sheep is so strong that he is prepared to lay down his life in defense of the sheep. The good shepherd loves his work. To him, shepherding is a vocation. Though the task is a difficult and risky one, he nevertheless finds utmost satisfaction and fulfillment in it. Love is the source of the shepherd's strength, courage, and commitment. With such love, no sacrifice can be considered too great to make for the sheep. The good shepherd is a combination of tenderness and toughness, care and self-sacrifice. With the extravagant love of the shepherd, his own life matters less than the life of the sheep. Jesus is the true shepherd who dies to save his sheep. He demonstrated through his suffering and death this exceptional love and care for the sheep. He demonstrated his diligence and commitment, as well as his fearlessness and heroic courage. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer to the profound longing of the human heart for love and for affection, true love and affection. Jesus is the answer to the profound longing of the human heart for peace and security, as well as for meaningful existence and eternal salvation. When in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 9 verse 36, he saw the hungry, distressed, and dejected crowd, he felt compassion for them because they were like sheep without shepherd. He set out to teach them and to feed them. He says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." John 14:6. "I am the bread of life. No one comes to me will ever hunger." John 36:35. John chapter 6 verse 35 and verse 38. "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me." John chapter 7 verse 37. "Come to me, all you who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 to 30. The key difference between the good shepherd and the hireling is about caring or not caring. The good shepherd cares, and this care is costly and risky. It ends up consuming his life, but he is motivated by love which drives away fear. Hirelings do not care. They are not motivated by love. But like Jesus, the good shepherd, we Christians are called to be caring shepherds to one another, especially to the poor and the weak, the widow and the orphan, the sick and the disabled. As parents, teachers, health professionals, church leaders, church members, politicians, public office holders, we are called to be shepherds, to love others selflessly, to serve others with all commitment, and to care for others with all diligence. For Christians, leadership at all levels and in all spheres is about being a pastor, being a shepherd, Selfless service defines every Christian vocation, and it defines leadership above all. True leadership is about loving, caring, and self-sacrificing. It is about taking risks, and if it becomes necessary, dying for the sheep. All those in leadership positions without these qualities are thieves, rogues, and brigands. They are only mercenaries and hirelings. God bless you.